You guys ever have a moment where the days kind of blend together and then you forget that it's Wednesday and it's a travel day for teams and most of the games are day games, so you just kind of miss like 75% of the slate and then you realize at like 4 or 5 p.m. and you're like, shit, I missed all the games, and then you're kind of pissed at yourself? That was me yesterday. But anyways, I forgot to show the preseason predictions here as we do at the start of every season. You can see here they expect our AL West to be pretty stinky poo-poo, with us top of it at 82 and 80, but also tied with the Mariners. So bit of a logjam division here. I don't think we're going to be that great. I would hope we're better than this, but we'll see. I'll take winning the division for sure, at the very least. But the Twins are projected to win the Central after winning the World Series last year, and the Orioles are projected to win 100 games and run away with the American League East. When it comes to hitters, I don't see any of our names here. There is none of our names here. And then I don't see any of our names in the pitchers either. There's Pablo Lopez, though, from the reigning World Series champions, who we know is absolutely insane in this. And then in the National League, the Braves, shocker, are projected to win the NL East. The Cardinals are projected to win the NL Central, with the Cubs behind them. And the Dodgers are projected to win the NL West. I don't see any Graham Pauley has developed into a solid hitter, one of the top hitters. Very interesting. Any standout pitchers? Met Mizorowski, Rasmussen's on the Cubs, Andrew Painter's a stud, Kodai Senga, Kyle Harrison. Yeah. Now, obviously, it is spring training stats, but I still wanted to just show this because I thought it was interesting. Hayden Birdsong was top 5 in opponents' average in spring training. So good omen here for our 5th starter entering the season. We would like to see him actually put together a full campaign for us and not get hurt. Now that he's down to fragile, it'd still be cool if we can get at least a season out of him because I still think he's a solid pitcher. Probably more so a reliever at this point, but right now he is our 5th starter. A little bit of an update right here. You can see we are 7 and 12. Not the greatest start to the season here. Not great, folks. But the thing we are jumping in to look at here is that Max Fried actually was still available here in free agency as we are here at the end of April, late April, April 23rd. He was still available. I've been keeping tabs on him. I thought about signing him before the season because he came back to me and was like, hey, I'm interested, because I tried to look at him in the off season. And I just opted not to with the fragile, coming off a torn rotator cuff. But then at the start of, opening day, he was out there. And I was like, maybe I give him, a 2-year deal. We get, injured Max Fried this season. We get possibly a decent Max Fried next year coming off his injury once he's, a full year of him. But, I wasn't really sold on it. Obviously, these ratings are incredible, but who knows what he's going to be like when he comes back. And then I decided, okay, I'm not going to give him anything. I'm going to wait until, because it just seemed like nobody was going to offer him. So I was like, we're going to wait until after the draft. And then once the draft goes away, because he has, you can't see here, but he does have compensation. If you go to offer him a contract, he does indeed have compensation, and I just wasn't willing to lose a draft pick for a guy who's probably not even going to be healthy this year, and if he is, he's just going to be, just coming off a torn rotator cuff, and he's not going to give me a full season, so I was like, I don't think that's worth it, and he was asking for, 15-ish mil for a season, so I was like, that's a pretty steep discount for Max Fried, so I was like, let's wait till after the draft, or at least I was going to basically check in once a month, and I have him on my short list, so if there's any rumors out there, it's gonna inform me, and that's exactly what happened. I was informed about a rumor with Max Fried that he's meeting with the Mets, so I go to look at his contract, I'm like, maybe I should give him a 2-year deal, and then I see that his contract's up to $30 million. Again, that's his demand. I was going to give him something even less than this. It was going to be like this. And the second year was going to be an option. Yeah, he doesn't want that at all anymore. So people must be out there in a bidding war for Max Fried. And I'm just not interested in that. Can we afford it? Yes. Do we want to? Not really. So maybe a bad decision for me, but I don't think it's worth losing a pick for a guy who's going to pitch maybe like 2 months of the season because he's still out for quite a long time. He's not going to pitch till like July. Alrighty, so we are back here on June 1st, which means it's time for the first year player draft and to go over how our team has done here to start the first 2 months of the season. Max Fried, as you can see here, signed with the New York Yankees, is not healthy, has a little over a month left on his recovery, plus he's going to need a rehab stint, which is probably going to be a decently long one coming back from a torn rotator cuff and missing that much time. But Max Fried is indeed on a team now. The Yankees only signed him to a 1-year deal. They did not do like a 2-year deal like I was trying to do. But Max Fried is indeed going to pitch this point some point this season. And did I miss out by not signing him? Probably. Is $29 million a pretty hefty chunk of change? Yes, but for 1 year we can't afford it. It was just the compensation I didn't really want to give up for a guy who's only going to pitch a few months. But that might bite me because right now we are struggling. We're only 4.5 games out of first place because this division is pretty bunched up in these top 4 teams right here. The Rangers are not running away with things. Everybody's sort of bunched up. And if we take a look at our team stats here, our Pythagorean is way better than our overall record. This is only 4 games better right now. At one point this was like 6 or 7 games better than our actual record was. So we're getting gypped a bit right now. If we take a look at the expanded standings here, we do have a positive run differential, which is better than the A's by quite a bit, and similar to the Rangers. But it's still early, and, things can change, because I think at this point last year we were negative run differential, and we finished the year with like a positive 100, something like that. So things can change. We know that. We've been pretty stinky poo-poo on the road here, 11-18. Not great. We are on a 2-game win streak, though, but 4-6 in our last 10. And we would like to turn things around here. Going back to the team stats page, you can see here, got off to a pretty not great start in April, a little bit better in May, but still around the same pace, so just not great. We've been really bad against right-handers, which I'm just now seeing. That's not good, and we've gotten really unlucky in one-run games, which is obviously also not good when it comes to winning ball games. If we take a look at the team stats, though, for each individual category, we are currently 3rd in the amount of runs scored, so the offense is scoring runs, and we've even had some injuries here, which we will go over in a little bit. But as of right now, still 3rd in runs scored, and then we are 9th in runs allowed. The pitching has been kind of suspect, as you would expect with a team that lost Brandon Woodruff for the season with an injury, and, not bringing back Tristan McKenzie, now kind of biting us, and then also not signing Max Fried, although he's not healthy right now, also kind of biting us because the 4 and 5 guys in the rotation have been a major problem for us, as we will look at in a second. You can see here the bullpen's been pretty much fine. We're still not allowing a lot of hits. We're limiting average. We've got a decent BABIP, opposing BABIP. We're not giving up a lot of home runs. We are walking a shit ton of hitters, though, which is not good at all. And we're striking out a ton of guys. And we're not playing the best defense anymore. Not great. We need to improve the defense here. That needs to tick up. But that could be partly because we've had some injuries here. We will see if that changes once the injuries come back to normal. But right now, the only guy on injured is actually Mike Trout. He's been on a rehab assignment. I've kind of left him down there a little bit longer than I wanted to. But Mike Trout is going to come back here. We might as well do that right now. We've had Cannon Smith and Jigba up as a backup bench back as Nelson Rada has been starting. And you can see here, Cannon Smith and Jigba has just been just great. Just fantastic stuff. This is why he hasn't really. I shouldn't say this is why, because he's barely ever gotten any time. But basically every time he comes up for a short stint, he just does nothing. Negative, negative. Finally a positive, but still not good. So unfortunate for Mr. Smithy Jigba, but he is going to go down and get DFA'd because he's out of options. And we are going to bring Mike Trout off of the IL. And then Alan Serta here also has had this sore elbow that was cutting into like all of his categories, so we put him on the IL. He's been out. Zach Neto was out for a while as well. He's back now. The injury is hit us hard in the lineup, but we're still scoring a lot of runs, so that is good to see. The offense has not been the issue. And then we've also had, okay, actually need to finagle this a bit more, where we're going to have Calabrese. So and since Trout's been out, we've been having Calabrese play against righties because he's a lefty hitter, and we've been having Jordan Adams play against lefties. As you can see, figure it out, man. This profile is better than a -1 WRC plus, but he's not showing it. So Jordan Adams, he's going to go down to AAA, and we need to call up a bench outfield bat that I think might be Jorge Ruiz. If I'm sure, it could be Canario. I might do Canario. Canario's on fire. We claimed Canario from the Pirates last season in June. Never played for us in the big leagues. He was fine in AAA last year. He also spent some time in AA where he raked, and then in this year he's been raking in AAA. I shouldn't say raking, but he's hitting a ton. He's got a bunch of home runs. We need a backup outfielder, so we're going to call him up because I feel like that's the most obvious one here. Jorge Ruiz could be an option. He's already on the 40-man. He is a decent outfielder. Not the best bat profile, but he is a decent outfielder. But we're gonna call up Canario, at least for now. So he's gonna come up and be a part of our major league roster here. Play some backup left and right field. Calabrese is going to move back to the outfield. Oh, that actually reminds me. What I am going to do, actually, is I think we're going to keep Calabrese in center because Jarren Duran has not been great this year. He has been just bad. 47 WRC plus. He's not getting on base. We've dropped him in the lineup. He's not walking at all. He's got 8 stolen bags. He's not the greatest in left field right now. So I think we're going to keep Rada in right field because he's been hitting quite well starting. Let's get another scouting report on him. He's been hitting quite well starting, so we're going to keep him in right field. We're going to take Duran out of the lineup here. We're just doing this for now. And then we're going to swap these two. So Duran and Canario are like the bench dudes. Duran will be the bench center fielder. Mauricio is not going to start in left field. Mike Trout is going to start in left field. Obviously, you can see here, the ZR is finally going down in center. He's not a center fielder anymore, folks. Mike Trout is a left fielder now. As we will move this to left field, and it drops. Oh, Mike Trout. Oh no, he's almost 36. Not great, but it's necessary. Calabrese's got the 70 range. He's playing a really solid center field. We're going to keep having him play center field, and then Trout's going to move to left since Duran's not playing well, and he's going to be the backup outfielder, and the Canario is going to give us a right-handed outfield option behind him. Alrighty, so here's what we're rocking now for the lineups. It's Rada, Trout, Shanuelo, Hoppy, Neto, Happ, Westberg, Paris, and Calabrese. And then against lefties, it's Neto, Trout, Shanuelo, Hoppy, Happ, Kim, Rada, Paris, and Calabrese, as Westberg shifts to the backup corner infielder. He's just kind of the odd man out because Ian Happ has been hitting decently well for us. He's actually been doing weirdly better against lefties than against righties. He did get off to a quite hot start on the season. And it's interesting because he has more pop against righties, but I guess he's more of a better overall hitter. I mean, it's 5 more in contact and avoid Ks, but you would think he'd be doing better against righties, but he is not. But I still believe in Ian Happ's bat. That's why we signed him. So he is in the lineup here, hitting 6th against lefties, and then 5th against lefties and 6th against righties, rather. And Kim is also the defensive sub at third base because Westberg has been bad at third base this season. Not ideal. And if we take a look at the pitching staff here, You can see it's been an issue. Cease, Detmers, and Canning have all been solid. They've been doing their thing. They've been pitching well. You can see here, Canning maybe a little bit getting gypped, and maybe a little bit not great FIP, but the ERA plus is solid for Griffin, Canning, Dylan Cease, and Reed Detmers. It's just been Fetty and Santos that have not been great. Eric Fetty, not great. He was solid for St. Louis last year. That's why we brought him in once Woodruff got hurt at the end of spring training. And Fetty has not been good. 11 starts, solid sample size. We might have to look into like DFAing him and trading for somebody or calling up somebody. And we really don't have any options. So I think trading at this point might be the option. I might have to look on the trade block here because we're trying to compete here and we need to fix this pitching staff with what we can do right now. Santos is up. Santos, however you want to say that, because he was good for us in AAA last year, and then was good to start the year. Good-ish, I would say. Good ERA plus, not great FIP. And that was kind of the reverse last year, but he had to put up a 3 WAR. Anyways, so I figured he would get a shot, and he just got 2 starts. Has not been great, while being limited to 18 batters faced 2 times through the order. And before we called him up, it was Hayden Birdsong in that role. You can see here he's doing much better in AAA, but in the big leagues, he had 8 starts, horrible ERA plus, horrible FIP minus. He was also being limited to 18 batters faced and just not doing well at all. So, unfortunate there for Hayden Birdsong. I thought he was going to be a legit guy for us, but right now he is not looking like that legit guy. We could possibly give a try in the rotation to KY Tang, however you're saying that, Tang here, this Taiwanese guy. He has been okay-ish in the bullpen. Solid ERA plus, but not great FIP. He's walking a ton of guys, though, so that's what's really making me not want to put him in the bullpen. Also, the BABIP's not been great for him, but that'll hopefully regress. What am I saying? Regress. He's limiting BABIP very well, I should say. I'm looking at this like it's a hitter. Like a goddamn moron. But anyways, the walks, the control really is what limits me from wanting to put him in the rotation and just keep him in this long reliever role where he's not getting burned right now. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to try to look out there and see what is available to trade for. We could rock a couple different things down here, like Liberatore. I guess I have these guys on 18 batters faced for the major leagues, so they're still on 18 batters faced. I don't know why he's on a 100 pitch limit. He's getting shelved in AAA. But like Cole Reagans, I'm not really desperate to give him a chance in the rotation. I don't think his stuff is good enough to be in the rotation with this 45 control. We signed Josiah Gray on one of these, like, he can opt out after day 30 of the regular season, which we're past, and he's just been awful in AAA. It is Salt Lake, but he wasn't exactly good in the big leagues either. He is extreme fly ball in Salt Lake, so I mean, that could be it. We could give him some run in the rotation. If it doesn't work out, we can just DFA him. We also have like Jamie Melendez, who's right now there's no way this guy starts. 30 control. He was one of the guys we picked up from the White Sox in that Alan Cerda, Joe Adele swap. He has not. He's not a starter. He just can't start with that. He's a bullpen guy, and he hasn't even been good in the bullpen either. John King's a bullpen guy. Victor Gonzalez could maybe start. We signed him to a minor league deal. He's more of a reliever, I would say, but he could give you some innings. Yusei Kikuchi we signed. I don't think he's really a starter. He's just kind of a guy I signed as like an option, but I don't really want to give him innings either. Jonathan Sprinkle is definitely just a bullpen guy. Tyler Thomas is definitely a bullpen guy. We could look down to Double-A, and we've got like Walbert Urena, who is indeed on the 40-man, that we could call up and maybe give some innings to, but the control is not ideally what I want in a starter. Grant Taylor, control once again. We could give him some run. He's not on the 40-man, though. He will be eligible for the Rule 5 draft next season, this upcoming offseason. So maybe we call him up and give him some run in the rotation and see how he is. We could do the same thing with Jackson Ferris here, but he's another guy where he's not really looking great with the control and the not dominant stuff. Patrick Forbes was one of our picks in 2025. He's in double A right now. Fine, I guess. But not really somebody I'm looking to call up. You see what I mean? We're kind of strapped for what we want to do here with the rotation. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna at least send down Victor Santos, and then we're gonna call up Josiah Gray just to see what he can give us. Jojo Gray here is gonna come up. I think they call him Jojo, don't they? Yeah, it's right there. What am I saying? But we're gonna give him some run here. Do I want to limit his pitches? Limit him to 2 times through? I think we'll go like limit him to like pitches instead. We'll limit him to 85 pitches. We want him to just kind of get settled in. Don't overdo it as a guy here. Don't overstay your welcome. But Josiah Gray, we'll do 2 times through. I just don't want him to go deep into games. So we'll go 2 times through for Josiah Gray. I might limit Eric Fetty to 2 times through just for now as well. Just to ensure that he's not facing a 3rd time through the order. And then we are going to look around and see who's available. Like right now, trading block pitchers, not on batting stats. Logan Webb, he's not on an expiring deal. He would have 1 more year, which, I mean, it would take some serious... He's also performing really poorly this season. Really, really down year for Logan Webb so far, but it is early, and he is a guy who eats innings like crazy. I guess he was hurt last year. Is that what happened there? Yes, he tore an elbow ligament. I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens. You're going to throw 220 innings back-to-back seasons. You're probably due for a little elbow tear. That's exactly what happened in 2026, and now in 2027, even though he was good in 2026, now in 2027, he is not performing well. What's his scouting looking like? He's had a couple drops, but nothing too major. His velo did drop last year. I'm assuming this was when he came back from his injury or something like that. But then it's also his overall improved. So he would also take a substantial package to acquire. So we could try to make a run at him, but I don't think we have the dudes to make a trade for Logan Webb. And then the other guys available here are like Tanner Houck. He's an expiring deal. He's like an okay starter. And that's basically what we're looking for here. We're trying to get a guy who can be like our 4th to pair with Canning, Cease, and Detmers. But Tanner Houck could be an option. I kind of want to see if we can make a run at Webb. But Tanner Houck's definitely the number 2 guy we're looking at here. Trevor Rogers, he's okay. I would say he's probably the number 2 guy we're looking at, is Trevor Rogers. And then Tanner Houck. Yeah. He's just had more success, I would say. But I mean, Houck's not been a slouch. He's been fine, I would say. The rest of these guys, though, not really starters and relievers. Like Tristan Beck, he's not any better than Fetty. Brady Singer, he's not any better than Fetty. Sean Dubin, he's not a starter. Ron Marinaccio, Tom's Riverman, he's also not a starter, but I was just curious to see what he was doing. Down in Durup getting rocked, also torn biceps. Let's see if we can make a run at Logan Webb here. I really don't think we're going to be able to do this. They're going to want like some serious dudes for the rest of this year and next year of Logan Webb. And we don't have serious dudes. Like, I don't want to give them Deion Cole. I just don't. And then it's just like Cam Caminiti. He's been bad. I guess we can see if Cam Caminiti's got any sort of value. We're so close to making this happen. Okay, well, if my GM thinks so, we'll offer them Cam Caminiti, who's that high school pitcher we took with high work ethic. He has not been good. He spent 3 years in rookie ball, 2 years being okay-ish, a third year being bad, and now he's finally in A ball because I forced him to A ball because I was like, enough. You can't be in rookie ball forever. And he's now projected to have a negative WAR in A ball, and it's just not looking good for Cam Caminiti here. This is why I don't like high school pitchers. It takes forever to develop them, and more often than not, they just don't develop. And then even if they get hurt, that's a whole other thing. They just throw one day and boom, your elbow explodes, and all of a sudden you're not a prospect anymore. Also, the control, even if that develops, not the greatest to go with this mediocre. I shouldn't say it's slightly above average stuff, but mediocre movement, I would say. I mean, I guess we should see if he has any value. We could throw in like Caminiti. I really don't know. Like this is our prospect pool. Like this is the level of stuff we're working with here. Like William Schmidt, he's still a 20 overall, 45 grade, doing a little bit better than Cam Caminiti, but he's also the similar where he's just also not doing well. He's in high A now. He's been in A ball for 2 years. 2 years of A ball so far, not going well. Or I should say a year and like a quarter of A ball, not going well. Did not do well in rookie ball. He's not really developing. His scouting is just lots of red arrows you can see. It's not great. It's not great for Mr. William Schmidt here. We'll just give him Caminiti to see what they say. And yeah, we'll see. They didn't immediately say hell no. So we'll see what they say after the draft. And we have the number 28 pick this year. Royals have the first. Nationals have second and 15th if they drop from 9th because this is their comp from last year. I guess they failed to sign their first rounder, and so did the Giants, and so did the Rockies. Very interesting. All right, so here we are at pick number 28. Lots of high school guys I'm seeing here. Best available guys are high school guys, and we can't do that. I cannot commit to another high school guy right now. We need to go college here. Like this guy, perhaps. College pitcher. 60 potential control. Right off the bat, this guy's looking like he's probably the guy I prefer. 60 potential control, 55 stuff potential, 55 movement potential. 2 pitch mix with an average fastball. That might throw me off him. But let's just sort this by college guys. He is the best college guy available. He does have the holy duo here. Nate Hester. This guy's even worse. Sadid Matthews. He's a dirtbag, folks. Switch hitter, 65 range, high work ethic, decent bat, 60 power. If he taps into that, that's real solid. Real solid. Can he play some infield too? Oh yeah, he can play some infield too. That is interesting. Lutfu Basar, Dakota State in Madison, South Dakota. That is wild. Yeah, it's. I would say. I mean, this guy is interesting because he's got the big bat. He's gonna strike out a ton. He does have low work ethic, intelligence. And I gotta stop like looking at dudes like this and being like, oh, I could never take a guy like this because he's gonna strike out a ton. As if I'm like expecting to find a guy who has this type of gap power, and eye, but is also gonna have like an avoid K that's also 60. Those guys don't exist. Like I'm just hoping to find a unicorn here and straying away from all this power. And then we get like 10 years into this and I just have no power in my system because I'm constantly taking guys like, or I guess this guy has power, but we're taking guys with profiles like this where maybe a little bit better contact and like maybe 45 power potential, and we end up having no power in our system. But yeah. I mean, this guy is probably the safe pick, college pitcher, doesn't throw hard, could develop control. I don't think he'd ever be a number 1, but he could be like a 2-3 guy. Okay, I mean, my scout thinks he could be a number 1. His velocity has upticked recently, Lots of blue arrows. We do love to see that. What about the low potential guy? Okay, his power's actually dropped recently. Don't like to see that. Don't like to see that. I mean, the eye, if the power was 75 and the eye was 65, I'd probably go him. But if it's flipped like that, I mean, 65 power is still really good. But this guy has got the better bat. I think when it comes to bats, I prefer this guy. 65 range, high work ethic, got the speed, got good range, can play some infield too. Has some power potential with a decent 55 contact, 55 BABIP, 55 gap potential. He's already developed quite a bit here with the bat. I mean, we do need arms in the system. And we could like development lab this guy a couple years and like focus on his control, try to uptake his fastball. I think we're gonna take him. We're taking Chris Sands, starter out of Virginia Tech. That is gonna take out 13 million. We have 13 million in budget. Yeah, it says I only offered 8 million, but I guess I have 13 million. Don't know what that's about. But he wants slot, which is 4 million. Sadid Matthews wants way less than slot. Okay. When is our next pick? What am I looking for here? Draft history? No. Draft order? 28th. Okay. I mean, it's basically a whole round away, a little bit more than a round even. So I don't think I was trying to see if we take Matthews here for cheap, or if we took Sands here for cheap, if maybe Matthews would still be there for my second pick. But I don't think that's going to be the case. We're only going to be able to get one of them. Um, who are some decent? Okay, there are some decent college guys who should still be here when if we take Sands. So we're gonna take Sands. We're gonna meet his demand, and we are gonna move on to our next pick. Boom. Sadid Matthews is still here. Let's go. Let's go. That makes it easy. The immediate Sadid Matthews, Long Beach State dirtbag, and we're taking him. Meet his demand here. That's our second round pick. We move things on round 3. Open this up. We still got a 70 potential or high school bat, but he wants 60 million. We can't afford that. Even though it says we can with the remaining budget, I'm not doing that. I'm just not. It ain't happening, folks. This is what I'm talking about. A guy like this, where I see this contact BABIP avoid K, and I'm like, ooh. And then his power never develops, and we have a whole system of guys with a bunch of this and none of this. This guy is interesting. High school arm though. Committed to Long Beach State. I like the home run suppression. Control, average, 3 average pitches. Maybe not. I don't mind this guy. But a ground ball hitter, no. First baseman, ground ball hitter, no. No thank you. Not happening. It's just not. Ground ball hitter, no, it's not happening. You can't have that type of profile and have a ground ball hitter and expect me to take you. It's just not happening. We might take this guy. Niagara County Community College. Niagara County Community College. That is hilarious. I love that. Well, I mean, those guys, you the talent you're playing against in the Niagara County Community College League that they're in, I mean, that is incredible. No chance a guy from that league would ever. Is this guy real? There's no way this guy is real. No chance. But anyways, the 60 are there any like super rangy guys? I love it when this happens, when a guy like this is like, I'm an infielder. I'm an infielder. And then they have like no power and they're like, I'm a third baseman. And then you look at their range and they're like, buddy, you're a slap hitting center fielder. You're not a third baseman. You might be a third baseman at Kent State for some reason, but you're not a third baseman in pro ball. None of the if a guy had 70 range here, I'd be interesting. 75. Not doesn't have double play and doesn't have a good arm though, so that's kind of a useless 75 range if you ask me. Danny Hoffman, that's interesting. This guy's weird. This guy's like a Dan Uglett type, where he's better. It's a weird profile on this guy. Possible huge, like all or nothing home run power bat with 65 range, horrible arm. This guy could be like a really solid second, like switch hitter too. That's a really weird profile, but I mean, if I could get that guy like round 5, I might do that. I might do that if I can get him round 5. But Padilla here, I think, is going to be our pick. High leader. He doesn't have the 70 range, but he could be a really solid bat with this contact. Avoid K is a little bit higher than the bat, but the BABIP's still decent. He's projected to have like a decent gap power, and eye. I mean, this is better than if this all develops to what is projected here. This is like better than Neto, and we have Neto signed to like 20 mil a year, and he's cheap. Okay. His potential eye has recently dropped. College starter. This guy's never going to be an actual starter. He does have the decent bat, though. I mean... Oh, this is Hoover. I just watched Sporer take this guy last night. In his year 1 draft. I'm in 2027. This guy's still kicking around. Okay. I mean, the arm is nothing special, but that bat, we compare him with Juan Padilla with the hitting. I mean, obviously, you got the better contact bat here with Padilla. But you have this big home run potential with Hoover. I think I'm going to take Padilla and then hope that Hoover is there next round. I think that's the move. Yeah. So we're taking Padilla. We're meeting his demand. We're moving on. Hoover's still here. All right. We like that. Who's this guy? Interesting. I would say he's interesting too. Compare him to Josh Johnson, please. Okay. So you're getting better eye, 10 better avoid K with him. So you're getting better home run by 10, better eye by 5. But then with this guy, you're getting better contact by 10, better gap by 5, 10 less home run, 5 less eye, and 10 better avoid K. I mean, I do like this. He's also more developed when it comes to the bat. He's got the better base running. Yeah, Hoover can't really play the field. So that I think we're taking Johnson. Yeah. We're taking Josh Johnson, not to be confused with former Marlins ace Josh Johnson. From the MAC folks, University of Buffalo, or University at Buffalo. Taking Josh Johnson here. We're moving on round 5. Hoover's still here. We might take him now, honestly. This guy's got an interesting profile. Big line drive doubles hitter. High work ethic. Great speed to work with that gap power. Cold weather guy. Not that that's actually a factor in me taking these guys, but we love it. We love to see it. Great name, Luis Luna. Not really a glove, but decent profile. The high school guy's here. This guy's still here. This guy's fallen. But yeah, he's hugely expensive. That's why he's falling. Is that... Okay, so this guy who has the useless 75 range is still here. This guy's got 70 range as a high schooler. Also has 60 range in the outfield. This guy's got an interesting profile too, but I think I prefer the college guy simply because he's a college guy. And there's this guy here too with the Dan Uggla type. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't know. I mean, this guy's got an interesting bat as well. Line drive hitter, got the good speed, the good power, the good outfield range. So Broyhill is kind of like... Who's the college line drive hitter I was looking at? Luis Luna. Let's compare him to Broyhill. Yes. Okay. So Luna is better. You get 5 better contact, you get 5 better gap, you get the same home run on I and the same avoid K. This guy is a little bit faster. I mean, he has better 10 speed, but the stealing is all the same. And then base running instincts, Broyhill has. But then the defense is way more Broyhill. They could both do the same thing in the infield. I guess Luna can play second base a little bit, whereas Broyhill would be more of just a first baseman in the infield. But 65 range, quite solid. Quite solid indeed. Broyhill, he might be he might be my guy here. He's a college guy, too. I thought he was a high school guy, but he's not. He is indeed a college guy. We're taking... I mean, they're both college guys. I'm tempted to try to get both. I'm tempted to go Luna, because I like Luna and Broyhill more than I like Hoover. So I'm tempted to go Luna and then hope that Broyhill is there. Very easy. Easy. He does not have high... We're going to go Luna and then hope that Broyhill is there. Boom. Luna, meet demand, auto draft. Damn it! Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Hoover's still here. What about that weird rangy guy? Yeah, he's here too. He's there. I mean, this is such a weird profile that I'm, like, enamored by it. I, like, have to get this guy. What, you got any good framers? Ooh. College, decent, really good framer. Durable catcher. I understand I have this still in college players, but I'm so out on high school guys that I'm just like, we need to make sure that we get some dudes. And some dudes that can get there rather quickly, honestly. And usually at this point in the draft, you're in round 6, a lot of these dudes are gone. You know, a lot of the college guys that you're looking at, and you're like, these guys got decent profiles. They're usually gone by now. Hoover's still falling. People don't like Hoover. He wants slot. What is slot at this point? Okay, so he just signs. I feel like we got to take the catcher here. Yeah, I'm thinking catcher here is the move. We got it 70 framing. He's decent bat profile, 50s across the board essentially, except for this 45 power potential. Switch hitter, durable injury proneness. Texas A&M is very nasty, but that doesn't really matter. Dave Peter. This is our pick here, round 6. 2 first names, kind of suspect, but we gotta do what we gotta do. As we move on to round 7 here. Still, Hoover's still here. Very interesting. So is this guy. Any pitchers that stand out? Any starters that stand out? I mean, we got decent college arms still here. I mean, I don't think Hoover is. I mean, this guy's got an interesting I like this guy's profile as a pitcher more than I like Hoover's as a pitcher. Because Hoover's very mediocre across the board for me, and the 50 potential here for me is at least because he's got the big pop, and he's way better of a bat than I think he is a pitcher. But if we're gonna look for a pitcher here, like this guy is pretty solid to me. Benny Donkey, Chicago, 60 stuff potential. 50 movements, not great, but we can try to lab that up. 50 controls, fine enough. But he's got this really sick mix where he's just a total like junk baller. 70 potential curve, 65 potential change, splitter, and cutter. I mean, his fastball's the cut. Everything moves. I'm liking this guy more. We're going to take Bobby Donkey here. Donkey? Probably Donkey, something like that. So we're going to move things on. Round 8. Hoover's still there. Mitski. This guy's name is Mitski. Okay, let's go back to the hitter page. Oh no, is that guy gone? Oh, the crazy profile guy is gone. That's a bummer. Well, I think it's Hoover time, folks. I think we got to do it. We got to go Hoover, and we're probably just going to straight make him a bat, honestly. Turn him into a DH, because this pitching profile, I mean, I guess he could be like an okay reliever, 5th starter type. But I don't like that pitching profile like much at all. But we're going to take him. He's fallen far enough here. Round 8, Caleb Hoover. Welcome to the organization. Move things on. Round 9. What else do we got out here? Any big power bats here? David Ramirez. Let's throw this back on high school players. Okay. This guy's still here. I noticed this guy earlier. I did. Indeed. We only got $5 million out there in offers, so we can go and give this guy $700K. Absolutely, with the 60 power potential, 60 range, maybe more of a second baseman, third baseman than he is a shortstop, but solid player here. I think we're taking that guy, unless this catcher blows me away. I mean, decent profile. Sheboygan. Probably more of a first baseman than he is a catcher with that type of profile here. But I think I like this guy. I think I like the shortstop. Plus, maybe more of a third baseman better. Makai Duyan. Something like that. We're taking him. Boom. We're moving things on. Round 10. This guy's still here. My scout thinks we should take Joe Fuller. No. Not happening. It ain't happening, folks. Juan Gamboa. Okay. Interesting. Interesting high school. Impossible signee. Interesting. We got a guy whose grants and scholarships were all academic and he's going to Santa Clara. Okay. This guy's making some fucked up shit. This guy is making some app they're gonna sell to the San Francisco Police Department, folks. Not loving it. But highest power potential here is still this catcher with the double work ethic intelligence. We're gonna take him for his bat, but we're gonna take him. Arturo Garza here, 6'6" catcher, insane stuff. Boom. I keep going here instinctively, and I can click here now. All right, round 11. I mean, we still got some dudes here. I mean, this is round 11, and I'm still, like, having to actually, like, think about who we're taking. Great name. Great name. Love the contact profile, but once again, it's got no pop. Not a ground ball guy, though. A little bit of gap power. I mean, this guy's interesting because you work on this gap power, you lab that up, maybe? You turn this guy into, like, a real good, like, contact hitter who's slapping the ball all over the place, but more of like a line drive all over the place guy. He's not striking out. That's an interesting profile, you ask me. He's got the highest contact here. I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued. Why is it just on high school guys? We don't want that. 50 grade reliever potential? Oh, yeah, no. No thanks. That guy stinks. Power here. What? Wasn't this guy... I'm pretty sure this guy was available in Spore's draft I was talking about, too. I just watched that video last night. Was he a high school guy in that draft and he just never signed? Interesting. None of these guys are... I mean, this guy... Maybe? Do we like this guy more than we like this guy? Or there's this guy. Okay, so he's got the slightly lower contact. And he could maybe give you some center field. He's QC. Let's compare him. Let's compare him, folks. I mean, Jeremy here, definitely the better contact bat. The avoid cage, you get some better with Clancy. You get a slightly better gap power, but more contact with Jeremy. None of them really have running profiles that blow you away. This guy's got a little bit more speed, but he's not going to be swiping any bags for you. And then on defense, yeah. On defense, you got Jeremy, who's going to be able to be like a third base, second base type. Not really a shortstop. Maybe give some corner outfield, whereas Fletcher Cansey could maybe be like a second grade defensive center fielder and like a really good left fielder, right fielder sort of guy, but has no pop. And you kind of prefer pop on positions like that. Then you kind of prefer pop at third base too. Interesting profiles. I might be able to get both, honestly. Honestly. We'll try. We'll try. We'll get Jeremy here. Boom. We move things on round 11. Fletcher Clancy, folks. Round 12. That's our guy. We move things on round 13. This guy's got 80K potential. Now I'm seeing all these guys pop up, and I'm like, oh, you know, we get that in the lab. You know, turn these guys into something. This is the name of a guy who's like the 5th best middleweight in the PFL. We're going to take this high school pitcher. He's got a high work ethic. Control's kind of suspect, but I'm liking the home run suppression potential. Decent pitch mix for this point in the draft. We're taking Wally Taylor here in round 13. We're moving things on round 14, and we still got dudes here. We still got the MMA guy. He's got a similar profile here. We're going to take him. Why not? Let's take him. Fuck it. No more of these. I guess this guy's interesting. The control, not really. We got any, like, standout control types? Not really. Not really. This guy's... No, that's stamina I'm looking at here. I thought he had all green here. I'm like, holy shit. At this point in the draft? You know, I don't usually take 3 catchers in one draft, but this guy, he's got an interesting profile here. High school, catcher, 55 framing's not the worst. 60 arm is solid. He's got an interesting power profile here with the Avoid K. We're taking Eric Harriel. Third catcher of the draft. We're moving things on around 16. You know, this 50 grade potential reliever is still here. He could be somebody. Let's take him. Why not? Why not? He's still available around 16. All right, so we finished up the draft here. I believe the last one I took on recording was Eric Rose. This guy was the 50 grade reliever who was just hanging around forever from Jones County Junior College. And, so we took him, and then to finish it off, we took this center fielder, 60 range, decent power potential, another JUCO guy. We took Chris Sweet, this insane control movement potential. You know, doubt he's a starter. This guy could be a sick reliever. I mean, this is pretty similar to, like, Brusdar Gratterall's profile. Obviously, way less velocity. But I'm loving the ground ball movement control here from this guy as an 18th round pick. And then Andy Rostetter here, a high school arm. Thought he had an interesting relief possible profile. They think he's an emergency starter possibly. No chance with this 2-pitch mix. But Rostetter, interesting guy for round 19 and then round 20. Great name, Kevin Cusino. How you doing? From the voice of the Pentecost Academy. 70 stuff potential, 75 curveball, 60 fastball. Decent mix there for round 20. I thought that was a really deep draft class. I was cooking. I felt I was cooking.